Hi, and welcome to September favorites, and my first favorites video, hopefully of many. As with my very first video, which was my tattoo tour, we're continuing the theme of YouTube classics to get me comfortable being in this space. So let's get straight into it. I have a whole bunch of different categories. I thought it'd be nice to do a favorite clothing item, accessory, and shoe each month to kind of play into me as a stylist and what this channel will be about, so we'll get down to that in a minute as well. But let's start with skincare, beauty, skincare, and we'll go into makeup as well. First off, I actually have an empty, which I think speaks quite strongly to liking a product. This is the Laneige Bouncy Firm sleeping mask. So they have this version and a blue version as well, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I really liked it. Got through the whole thing. It has almost like a grain to it, which might put some people off. You don't feel it, it's not exfoliating, but just the texture is kind of surprising in that way. But I like to keep my nighttime routine really simple because it just means I'll be more likely to do it when I'm sleepy. So I double cleanse, maybe use a toner, but for the most part I just whack on either a mask or a really thick moisturizer just to keep everything in place. Sometimes I'll do a serum, sometimes I'll do a retinol. Getting more into retinol now. But yes, sleeping masks are kind of big on my routine. So this was a really nice one. I'm really interested to trying the blue one next and seeing what I think about that. And I will say it lasted really well. So Laneige isn't the cheapest of brands, but that tub lasted me way longer than I thought it would. You really don't need very much, which is great. Speaking of skincare and moisturizers and routine, what I do use in the daytime has been this Glow recipe. Which one is it? The Pomegranate Peptide Firming Serum. Bit of a treat to myself. Again, it's not the cheapest one on the market. This was one where I went into Sephora, put a bit of the tester in my hand, kind of like rubbed it in as you do, gave it a sniff, and moved on with my life. And then I kept touching my hand all day. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, my hand feels so soft and just so firm in that like area. And I couldn't get it out of my head, so I got it. And I really like it. I really like how it feels on. I feel like it really freshens me up in the morning. I used it a lot on like early work mornings when I had to commute from like 5 a.m. The one thing I will say is you have no idea how much is left. Like you can't see through this where you're at, and I much prefer when I can at least have a sense of when I'm getting towards the end of a product. And because it's so heavy in itself, the packaging's beautiful. It's like a glass packaging. You just can't tell where you're at. So that's the only little criticism on that one. Now into skincare. We have the Pi Impossible Glow Drops. So this is kind of skincare into makeup. You may have seen these around. There's definitely a lot of hype on the Drunk Elephant, what is it, the bronzing drops. I use these in a similar way where you just put them into your moisturizer. But these have hyaluronic acid and sea kelp and then highlighting drops to kind of illuminate. And I really love them. Again, they last a really long time. You don't need much. You just add a drop to your moisturizer. This is in the rose gold. They have a gold that's a bit more yellow tone and then a slightly bronzer color that I have a smaller size of. They also do a small size if you want to try it out. And I use that when I go on vacation and stuff and just want like a bronzy glow. But yeah, I love these because they don't mess with the formula of your moisturizer. They're kind of watery, so it doesn't add any kind of extra weight or thickness, but instant glow. It's great. So they're a firm favorite. So makeup, I kind of just wanted to point out, I guess, two things. One is this Charlotte Tilbury, what are these called? They're like the thick color chameleon in amethyst. So it's in like a purple color. It doesn't have to be this one, but just this kind of thing of a either slightly purple or slightly bronze, like slightly colored, thick eyeliner. I've just been my go-to. Instead of doing eyeshadow, I just kind of blur this on either side of my lash line and smudge it out a little bit. I've also taken it with me when I know I'm like going a bit day to night and I just want to like add a bit of smokiness to my eyes. So it doesn't have to be Charlotte Tilbury. I do love the Charlotte Tilbury ones and they work really well for me and they last really well. But yeah, that kind of smoky, a little bit of color, so not just black, because it really makes your eyes stand out more, is a firm favorite this month that I've used a lot instead of eyeshadow. And I'm an eyeshadow girl, so it says a lot. And then the lip combo I've been wearing for the past week straight. It's the Spice It Up MAC lipstick that everyone talks about, that the cast of Friends, well, at least I think it's Monica, I don't know if it's just her, anyway, wore. And I'm wearing it now. It's the most comfortable red. I love a red lip, but I acknowledge that they don't necessarily wear very evenly and they are a bit more high maintenance. So this is like a low maintenance red. It's a real sheeny, comfortable, wears off really evenly kind of red. And I wear it with kind of, to be honest, any lip liner I can get my hand on. Let me see, I have 3 here, so 2 of them are from MAC. And here's the thing I like to do, I don't think people really match their lip liners to their lipstick anymore. I feel like we used to be really adamant to have like the combination. Then actually I've seen some beautiful looks of people wearing darker lip liners with lighter lipsticks and kind of playing with that. And you can also kind of really change the tone depending on your liner underneath. So if I want it more subtle, I'll go for a nude, which this is MAC's Whirl, or I'll even go for as light as Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk, just to line my lips and really let the color speak for itself. This is probably the most true to its color, which is it's just a Sephora one. I don't even know if they have names. Oh, 18 Deep Brown. So it's kind of I've used it a lot, that's why it's teeny tiny. This is a great one if you did want one to match. The 18 Deep Brown from Sephora, I find, matches it really well. And if I want to deepen it a little bit and kind of go a bit more dramatic, then I use MAC's Plum, which is actually, as you can tell from the end there, a little bit more purpley in tone. But yeah, it just does really well at kind of just taking it down a notch and making it a bit more dramatic. So yeah, the MAC Spice It Up lipstick is absolutely worth it. I think I did a reel on it last week. And then let's go into kind of beauty, body, hair, because that feels like a natural transition. So I've got a fresh one here, but it's kind of just a category in itself, which is solid soaps. I realize that's quite random, but genuinely, also this one smells like marzipan. I've just really been enjoying using solid soaps. I got a lot of them when I was in Marseille earlier this year. I got myself a bunch of soaps from there, obviously, because it's one of the things they're known for. And I was using it because I have, you may have heard me say before, but really sensitive hand allergies to different things. And so these soaps just work really well rather than like pump soap or anything else that I may react to. These are always really gentle on my hands. But I've really enjoyed even using them in the shower. I don't know, sometimes just reducing the packaging and going back to basics is just a really lovely experience. And it's funny because these are kind of the cheaper option but feel more luxurious somehow. And I love that. So yeah, solid soaps. Bonus points if it smells like marzipan. Next. So my hair is getting pretty long. But the thing about having long hair and bleached hair is you do want to keep it moisturized. So I love a hair oil. And I love the Moroccan oil. This one's a really great one for using on the daily because I find while it is obviously moisturizing and it's an oil, it's light enough that you don't feel like you've accidentally given yourself greasy hair. And again, this thing has lasted me so long. I don't even remember when I bought it. I've had it for so long. You need one pump and it does. I put it throughout all the ends of my hair. So it's the Kérastase Blond Absolu. I don't know what makes it good for blondes. I mean, I know it's in a purple bottle, but the oil is completely clear. But yeah, it's really great. It's not too heavy. So if you are going to treat yourself to a hair oil, I would genuinely say this one because since it's not so heavy, I use it more because I'm not worried about it weighing down my hair. And I think in turn, that's made my hair very happy. Speaking of things that make my hair happy, we have this little contraption. I should seriously earn commission on how many people I've told to buy this at this point. You've seen these. This is the overnight heatless curls. You can use like from a dressing gown, like something like that as well. I've seen people use tights and stuff. This is like a purpose-made one. It cost me like £8. I think I was still living in the UK at the time, so it's about £8 on Amazon. And it's basically like thick all the way here, so the part that you put on your head and you turn, like whirl your hair around. And then these parts are thin, because once you've done it, this is gonna look ridiculous, but you wrap it around your head and then you tie these together. So one, because it's squidgy, it's actually still comfortable to sleep on. It's not, you know, that some of them are really thick and kind of hard to sleep on. It's like a pool noodle. And it doesn't move because you pop it on there, you tie these together. There's a little elastic for you to tie the bottom of your hair around the bottom to it. And I don't use any product. I'll sometimes put a bit of oil to moisturize my hair. I sleep in this and I wake up with my hair ready to go. So all these pictures here, that's all I've done is I've woken up after using this and brushed my hair out. So it's really great low maintenance if you get up really early in the morning or don't have time in the morning. It's really great. I also think that just having my hair in that kind of protective style is really good for its health overnight, right? It's not like tossing and turning and wrapping around my face, and it's no heat. So yeah, for me it's kind of a no-brainer. Obviously it's whether you want that like kind of princess curl style all the time. I love it, but I feel like you just can't go wrong. And when I'm traveling, I don't even need to bring tools with me, which is amazing. So that's a winner. And I think that wraps up all of my, oh no, there's one more skin related one, which is skin and body, my gua sha. But I've really enjoyed using this, yes, on my face with oil, you know, kind of doing that, I don't know, every, to be honest, probably other week or so. I'm not super diligent with it. I do it when I fancy it. What I've loved doing this with is actually on like my body, my neck, and my legs to kind of release tension, especially my ankles. If I've been walking in heels all day, I'll just put on some body lotion or some oil and really do this like on my legs and on my ankles and try and kind of just give myself a little massage essentially. And it's been really great, again, for traveling. Obviously wear flight socks, important, good, healthy, yes, but I still find my ankles can kind of like puff up after a long haul flight, so this is again a really good tool when you arrive before you go to sleep to just kind of do some drainage. That wraps up all of the body stuff. I then have, should we go into fashion? Let's go jewelry actually, because I have 3 pieces of jewelry to show you, 2 of which I'm wearing. So they're all from the Great Frog London. We'll know this or find out very shortly that I love the Great Frog. It's actually what this poster is behind me. I love their jewelry. It's like chunky silver, heavy duty and beautiful. And I will say, if you've walked past the store in Carnaby in London, there's 2, I can't remember where the other one is, and seen it and thought this is just skulls and crossbones, it's not for me, take a look inside because they have some really beautiful things, and they have a couple pieces that are with like sort of organic gemstones and wings and look a little bit more ethereal. Obviously it's quite alternative looking in general, but there's more of a scope than maybe meets the eye. But the ones I've been wearing lately have been my little bat. There we go, we're in. Okay, so this is my bat ring that I've been wearing a lot. The second ring has been my little cat one, and I like to wear them together. Again, I'm gonna try and get this to focus. There we go, little cat ring. You can actually get this with the eyes set with like diamonds or gems, but I just kept it simple. And then finally is my bracelet, which was my 30th birthday present from my fiance and kind of incredible in so many ways. This is really just a piece of art if you ask me. So it's 2 roses. You can see they're kind of connected with the rose stem and thorns. So it's a bangle, but it really, you can get it in different sizes that really fit to your wrist. So I'll show you it on mine. It really kind of fits perfectly to your wrist, and that's how it holds. I just think it's such a unique piece of jewelry. I always feel so cool wearing it. You can get charms for it that you can take off and add on. So I have a K for Kevin, my fiance, and a little heart with a garnet in it here. But yeah, I've been wearing it a lot. It gets a lot of compliments. It's just a really cool piece. And yeah, that's just a firm favorite for the month. Maybe we'll just leave that on actually. Now we move on to, should we not be so zoomed in actually, maybe? Now we move on to clothing. Okay, favorite bag. Nobody's surprised. This is her season. This is the Chloé C double. I know they don't make these anymore. You can get them on places like Vestiaire, Collective, Pre-Loved. And maybe I'll do a little post on well, first off, where you can get this pre-loved and what to get as an alternative, either from Chloé or other brands. The main thing that makes this so wearable is 1, the size. It's fit a book in it size, which anyone who knows me is a category I very much appreciate. It's a really sturdy, like croc embossed, not croc, but leather, which means that it can rain on it and it lasts and it's fine. You can really just wear it and enjoy wearing it. Honestly, such a durable bag. Like, it gets bashed around and it still looks good as new. You can fit so much in it. You can wear it just with the one strap here and take this off, or keep them both on. I kind of keep them both on all the time. I don't mind this one kind of hanging down, but you definitely have the option to customize. And yeah, honestly, if I lost my bags tomorrow and I had to rebuy, this would probably be the first one I would get again. Shoes. There's a color theme, and they do get worn with that bag a lot. These are my Carel, and I actually got these in Paris. I have 2 pairs now. I intend to buy as many more as I can get my hands on because I love them. They're just such a chic shoe. I feel like I don't need to spend too much time on these. They're just beautiful. I really like this style. I also have the classic 3-strap style that they do. And I really love that they're in a brown because it just makes them really wearable with a whole bunch of different things. I don't wear black very often unless I'm literally wearing all black, so brown shoes are really great for me. Yeah, really sturdy heel. Again, they're patent, so it starts to rain, I'm not panicking. We love them. We love them. And finally, whoop, going back to the high street now, or to the high street now, is this blazer from Mango. It's got kind of a structured shoulder, it's an oversized blazer in this really nice kind of black and brown check, which means that you can pair it with black or brown. And at this time of year in September, this is basically my everyday jacket, apart from when it's raining. So I get really excited when September rolls around because I get to wear this even more. So yeah, that's a firm fave, which I will keep saying about all these things. And then I thought we'd finish on books. Too rogue? Too random? No? Should we just finish on books? I went down a little fantasy rabbit hole this month, or the past few months to be honest, but these are from September, so I figured I'd take these two. So I read Godkiller first. This is the first in the series. I think there were only 2. I just bought the second one in the series and I yet to read it, and it was really cool. Kind of the classic with fantasy, but this one especially, where you could just read it and enjoy it, or you could read into it kind of messaging on kind of like religion and that sort of like belief system. It also does have a romance in it, but not in the way that's annoying where you kind of feel like, oh, this is coming and there's gonna be a romance there, and you could just see it, but like it catches you by surprise. It's not the one you expect. It's not the main part of the story. It's in there in a way that's really like fun and definitely grasps you, but it's not the key point of the story, and I thought it was done really well and in a less obvious way. So yeah, really enjoyed that. And then this pretty little pink little lady, I'm trying to remember when I picked this up now. That's right, so when we still lived in the UK, so this is a year ago, or in the last year or so, I actually saw the hardback of this when it first came out, and I was in the mood, I think it was probably this time of year, for something really like cheesy romantic fantasy. Like I just wanted to dip my toes into that realm, and I saw the hardback and thought it was just so pretty and Disney looking. And I read the blurb and I was really interested in it, but I just didn't want to buy this giant hardback. Forgot about it. We moved to Switzerland, went to the bookstore and saw it, and it's actually a 3-part series. So I have all 3 now. I'm just finishing the second. This one's Once Upon a Broken Heart, and then there's 2 more. And it's just what you want from fantasy. Now, I'm not like a deep fantasy reader. I read Fourth Wing when everyone did, and that was my introduction to it, so take that with a pinch of salt. I am all up for like a cheesy, good guys win, I see where this is going kind of a book, so it's not one where I'd be like, this is gonna change your life, but what I will say is you will just enjoy it if you are like me in that sense, that you love magic, a bit of fantasy, a little bit of romance, good versus evil. There's twists and turns. Each chapter kind of ends on a cliffhanger, which is nice. I feel like this would get you out of a reading slump. Like, it's just really easy, and I kind of needed that this past month to just have something that didn't make my brain work too hard. She did a really good job of like, the world works, it makes sense, there's different rules and different aspects, it's like deep enough that those twists and turns work, and yeah, I thought it was really nice. I really liked it, so maybe you will too. And that wraps up my September favorites. Thank you so much for hanging around. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea that is definitely getting cold. It's too early for this mug, isn't it? But yeah, those are my favorite things. I'm gonna be doing these once a month, as one does, a monthly favorites. And yeah, I like the idea of bringing in a favorite shoe, accessory, clothing item each time, because I think that's just like a fun little, not that I've invented this, but a fun extra for myself. And hopefully if you see anything here that you like and you try it and you like it, yay! And I will see you in the next video. Bye!